What's up, YouTube? This is MathWiz97 and welcome to episode number 44 of my SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 General Manager mode, coming to you from Kansas City, Missouri for the December 27th edition of SmackDown. And as you can see, we're going to be having a triple threat matchup to kick off this episode, and in the main event, the United States Championship is on the line, 6-man battle royal. Christian, he's got a tough task right off the bat. After winning his title at Armageddon in the Fatal 4-Way, he's got to defend it against 5 other competitors in a battle royal, because man, are our superstars hungry for title shots. I guess that's the best way to put it. They've got a very competitive spirit at the sacrifice of their morale. Unfortunately for us, but should make for a very entertaining matchup later on. But as we can see, this opening contest, a triple threat matchup between the man we just saw, Randy Orton, this man, Batista, and of course the Big Show will be making his way down to the ring as well in just a few moments. But we've got 3 men right here who, we did see at the Armageddon pay-per-view, Batista and Eddie Guerrero, they fell a little bit short of the mark in the steel cage matchup. They were unsuccessful in regaining their WWE Tag Team Championships, as Edge and Chris Jericho retained the gold. But now, perhaps, Batista and Eddie could be looking to go their separate ways, looking to perhaps aim to achieve some singles success. That definitely is a possibility. Batista, he's had issues with Randy Orton in the past. And, at one point, he was screwed out of what could have perhaps been a World Heavyweight Championship victory way back towards the beginning of the series. And, Orton and Batista, they go way back. They definitely they've got their beef with each other. At one point, they were a tag team for a short period of time. That didn't seem to pan out too well for them. And we see where that has led them both. Batista, a former tag team champion alongside Eddie Guerrero. So Batista, they held that championship for quite some time. So Batista, he had a nice little title reign there. But now he's back into the singles fray, into the singles picture, looking to go on his own path, carve himself his destiny here on SmackDown. Perhaps Batista could be the very next challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship. In Triple H, we did see he was victorious against all odds in the Armageddon Hell in the Cell at the last pay-per-view. Randy Orton was involved in that matchup as well, coming up just short of the mark as well, although he was not pinned. It was Stone Cold who suffered the pinfall at the hands of Triple H. Then we've got the Big Show, who it appears as though has formed a new alliance with Rey Mysterio. We saw in one of the simulated matchups, the matchups that just, when it's a pay-per-view, I don't, it's GM mode, it's SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, guys. The gameplay is not that fantastic. So I really don't feel like bogging down the video with matches that are just kind of filler. They're just kind of there, we had our whole championship storylines built up, and there wasn't much else going on with the guys we had left over, so, it was just kind of there to fill space. So I really didn't feel like, we don't need to have 6 matches. Unless I have an actual pay-per-view where I have 6 matches built up that we can actually showcase them all. No Mercy, I think, was a good pay-per-view. We had 5 pretty good matches built up for that one, and it was it was almost 50 minutes. It was a pretty good event. I think that one went down fairly well, but Armageddon, it didn't seem like we had, because, for one thing, we had a Fatal 4-Way for the title, for the U.S. title. We had the Armageddon Hell in the Cell, which took up 6 people. We had the tag team title match, which took up another 4. Right there, that is 14 people on our roster. And then, of course, you take into account Ric Flair versus Paul London for the Cruiserweight title. That's 16 guys. We only have 4 left. And, well, they weren't really in a rivalry at that point. So there's only so much we could do. There's only so much I can do for something like that. And then, again, it's GM mode, like I said. It's kind of recycling the same gameplay. That you can't get much. You can't get... the gameplay is not exactly what you're here for. It's GM mode. It's more about the office sort of standpoint of it. The matches, Yeah, I do like playing the matches. It does add a little more to the episode, so it's not just a simulation for everything. I feel like that would be kind of boring. But at the same time, I feel like if I would have 6 matches on a SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 video versus 6 matches on a WWE 2K15 video, there's obviously a lot more entertainment value in the 2K15 stuff because the gameplay is much better. You can have a good matchup going on, whereas this, I mean, like, the finishers, you sometimes have to hit a finisher or 2 a match just to win it. And this game came out like 10 years ago, guys. There's only so much I can really get out of this gameplay thing. Not to say that it's bad, because if it was bad, I wouldn't be playing it. I enjoy it. I enjoy making these videos, but I don't really want to make an hour-long GM mode video. This is meant to be more this is, like, universe mode is supposed to be close to, somewhere between 20 minutes and 30 minutes an episode. This one is supposed to be, a series that's a little bit easier for me to do. I prefer to keep it closer to, like, the 15, maybe 20-minute mark. Pay-per-views, obviously, are the exception, but I'd rather not have an hour-long video. Maybe if it's, like, the final pay-per-view and we have a bunch of matches built up for it, that would be cool. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, as long as I have the storylines to back it up. But I just didn't feel like Armageddon. It wasn't as big as I was hoping it would be, and that's partially my fault. But then, the game had some limitations, like Mysterio and London's rivalry ending out of nowhere. What was that? But yeah, we can only have 20 guys in the game as well, so that's limiting as well. 20 guys on the roster, I should say. And then we can have people working double duty, but then if I played every single match and we have everybody working double duty, that doesn't really work. So that was, like, this is the tangent series, that my GM mode videos tend to go on tangents from time to time. That's kind of what that was. It was, I wouldn't really call it a rant, but it was almost borderline rant territory, I guess. Although we are getting close to 2K16, we have universe mode that's wrapping up. We just had the Armageddon pay-per-view, which was a big milestone for this series. Royal Rumble is my goal. I'm planning to get to the Royal Rumble before we move on to 2K16, because then there's going to be a little bit of a break, about a month break or so, I believe, and then we're going to try to finish this series up. And you see, now I'm at this point at the moment where I'm not really sure if I'm going to be doing a career mode or not. I'm leaning towards yes. Once I saw, like, I knew there were going to be changes for this year's career mode, so I never really ruled it out, but if it was going to be anything like what 2K15's career mode was, I was steering clear of that, man. Like, I've said before, I prefer to control the whole organization rather than just a single character. So if 2K15 career mode was going to be the same in 2K16, no, I will. Thank you. I've had my share. I'm done. I'm done with that. We can do something else. But at the, 2K16, we dropped that My Career trailer. That's looking pretty cool. Or why'd I say we? 2K did, I should say. But the My Career trailer is looking really cool. The mode is looking better. I still don't think it's going to be 100% complete. I'm still giving the game until 2K17 yet, because there are still modes that they didn't bring back, and they said they're looking to. Obviously, there's like a time limitation with it being a yearly release. So I'm waiting till 2K17 to really start thinking, okay, we're going to be getting perhaps one of the better games that we've seen in quite some time. At the moment, they're still kind of trying, not to say that 2K16 is not going to be good, because it's really going to build off of where 2K15 lacked. There's still a few things that they're missing, like modes, so I can't quite say that it's... at the moment, I guess I would say in all the games that I've covered, 2K14 has been the best thus far, and I feel like 2K17 could surpass 2K14 just depending on what they bring back. Like, what all modes... Like, if they can bring back the rest of the modes they took out, like the replay editor and the story designer especially, those two, anything else I might be missing, that, bring back those kind of modes, and then keep improving on the gameplay, which they've really done a good job with. They dropped all the new moves that they had in the game, And, you know, it was just a list. It didn't really show what all they had, but I'm happy to see all these new moves that are in the game, because I've said this before, I'm fairly certain I've said this before, but if not, my favorite part of making a created wrestler is the moveset, because it's what you use all the time. You can make somebody look cool, you always see the same appearance, so changing the entire is important, that is key. The entrance is important as well, because that basically defines who your character is. It's a great example of what your character brings to the table. But it's the moveset. The moveset is what you're gonna use for the majority of what you're doing. Sure, you're always looking at the guy, but the moveset is what, like, you can have a generic moveset, you see it all the time. It's boring as hell. Just for me, I just really love making the movesets, you know, building up to the character, what kind of moves can he use, what kind can't he use, what kind of finisher should he have, try to avoid, you know, typically over-the-top moves. You know, just piecing together the movesets. I feel like I'm piecing together the character, the guy I'm trying to create, the story I'm trying to tell. And I don't know, the moveset, creating the moveset is my personal favorite part of the game. So it's really cool to see all these new moves being brought in. I just hope that they're not going to drop a ton of them in exchange. Like, if they're updating a suplex animation, go for it. You can drop a suplex or two. I don't mind. But if you're bringing in... what was it? If you're bringing in the Phoenix Splash, don't drop like a 450 splash or a frog splash, please. Like, they had a good like they reanimated the 450 splash for 2K14, I believe, or maybe it was 13, and then in 2K15 it was gone. Like, they went back to the old tired 450 splash, which was a bit disappointing. It's like, I don't know, I don't like the current 450 splash that they have. I like the one where I don't know, it's like they tuck in a little more and it just looks more fluid. Like, you can, I don't know, I'm really rambling at this point, but I don't know, there's certain moves, they take them out, and it's a little disappointing. Like, the Lion Salt, I remember, was gone for quite some time. It was in for Jericho's moveset, and then they took it out, and then it came back when Jericho came back. But, you know, I don't like it when they take moves out. Like, they bring in these indie moves and stuff, which are cool, but nobody uses them in the WWE, so you can have moves that are in the game that people in the WWE don't use nowadays. Like, who's a superstar who's not in the game right now? Like, let's say Rob Van Dam. Okay, Rob Van Dam, he's gone, and then they take out that awesome new split leg moonsault that they put in the game. That's the kind of stuff I don't like, because for one thing, the split leg moonsault is awesome, but it just adds for more move diversity. If you have a variety of different moves in the game that you can choose from, we don't necessarily need to have 10 suplex animations. I mean, I guess, you know, for the more generic moves, the more move sets there, the more variations you have makes it, you know, it's not like you're seeing the same move all the time, because a suplex is a move people like to use a lot. But if we have, like, a finisher and attitude adjustment, we don't need to see, like, 10 of those, because there's only so many different variations you can do, and then it's just kind of getting repetitive. Typically, the moveset, they're pretty good about that. We don't get a ton of repeats. It's only, like, the more generic ones, like DDTs and suplexes and stuff, that we tend to get a bunch of them in abundance. But I definitely did like what I see out of the career mode trailer, which is somehow I got talking on the movesets. I forgot where my transition was there. But the movesets looked cool. The career trailer is looking cool, so I think I'm going to end up giving 2K16 career mode another go this year. Not going to be with Jetstorm, though, for those of you who are wondering, because he's had his story. Not sure who I'm going to be yet. Not sure what kind of a character I'm going to create. I'd like to go with something a bit different than what Jetstorm had, but there's a lot of new possibilities with this new career mode. Like, you can form a tag team, go after championships. You actually can somewhat control your own destiny, which is cool. I'm not gonna hype up this career mode and being like, oh my god, this is gonna be epic, guys, this is gonna be the greatest thing since the GM mode, this is gonna be the best thing ever. No, because they still need to develop it a little more. I really don't like, the 2K15 career mode was so bare bones. It was like the beta for the career mode that we are getting this year, but I still feel like it's in the development stages. They couldn't possibly have fixed every problem that career mode had, because career mode, there was a lot wrong with career mode. So I'm still gonna give it another year until I'm fully sold on the mode. But it changed enough this year, from what I've seen in the trailer, which, another thing to note with gaming and anything really, yeah, never trust the trailer, never trust anything you see in the trailer, because there's going to be flaws that they obviously don't mention. But, you know, the 2K16 career mode, it's looking good, and I'm planning on doing another series on it, because it looks like it's added enough to keep me interested and want to do another playthrough of it. So that's the plan. I'm going to be doing career mode, and I'm going to be doing universe mode, and I'll at some point throw GM mode in there to probably balance it out, give myself a third series, just to kind of wrap this up, because I don't want to leave it hanging for who knows how long. I don't want to do that this year. And then I have this Pokemon series that I need to wrap up. I feel like I'm putting a little too much work into this Pokemon series than I was initially planning. Excuse me, that was really hold on, I gotta pause the commentary. That was awful. Sorry, guys. This is gonna be, like, really gross to talk about, but I literally just threw up in my mouth. That was awful. But, oh my god. But this is a GM mode, not a universe mode video, so I'm gonna let it slide. Oh my god, that was uncomfortable. I was trying to power through it, and I was like, nope, 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 nope. I need a drink. I need to do something about this. So apologies for that. Completely lost my train of thought. But anyway, Rob Van Dam's over the top rope. He's eliminated. Christian retains the Cruiserweight Championship, because I know I didn't talk about the match at all. And apparently all of our fans left the stadium, or the arena, I should say. Seriously, where'd they all go? Is it, like, I hope we have a lot of people watching at home, because that's a terrible sign for our ratings. It appears as though, oh, we gained fans. Maybe that was a glitch in the game. Like, I don't know what that was. That was like a TNA crowd, guys. That's worrisome. That's very bad. But it looks as though we gained fans. They just weren't in the arena. I guess everybody was watching at home. I mean, I guess it is winter time, so it's pretty cold out there. People just want to stay indoors rather than, you know, have to go outside in the cold. Perhaps it was snowing, maybe. Let's say that. Let's say it was snowing, guys. Everyone was snowed in. They couldn't make it to the arena. That's what happened. Or maybe they had to leave early to, you know, drive through the snow, avoid traffic, that sort of thing. That's what happened, guys. That's what happened. Let's blame it on snow. But as we can see, we have guys who are losing every week. So, also, I don't understand. Did Kane just ask for a title shot? Like, what? But he was. This mode is broken. Like, I don't understand. That's one thing I've never understood about GM mode. You give guys a title shot, and then they're like, I want a title shot the week afterwards. And it's like, I just gave you one! Do you want, like, a world title shot? Earn it. I don't know what to say, guys. But that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Keep on YouTubing.